Welcome to our poster session. I'm Dr. Kathy Oropallo, leader coach for student education, and I'm also leader coach for both Irwin Middle School in Jefferson County, Alabama, and Porterville Unified School District in California. Today, you're going to hear about district leaders seeing a system and having relentless focus in spite of some of the rapid change that they face, things like COVID and COVID recovery and chronic absenteeism. I'd like to introduce, to kick it off, Blake Frazier is going to be talking about his improvement journey with the team at Irwin Middle School, and Dr. Jen Francone, Director of Continuous Improvement, and she's going to be sharing her journey around the employee experience in Porterville.
As serving as the Assistant Director of Federal Programs in Jefferson County, again, I'm Blake Frazier. I've had the pleasure to work with Irwin Middle School and really be side by side as they work through their continuous improvement journey. We're honored to have the opportunity today to kind of talk through some of the things that we've seen as successful and just to share some of our stories. Irwin Middle has been deemed a comprehensive school improvement for the last 4 years. As you can see on the left in the top corner, the increases that we've been able to make and see over the years is very exciting. They've grown by 10 points in the last 4 years, and actually, as of last year, are not on that school improvement list anymore, which is such a great accomplishment that we're all very proud of. So today, I just want to share just some of the processes that have been put in place to help Irwin stay focused. A lot of times we get distracted by noise and other things that are going on. But one thing that we've learned in this work is the importance of having specific processes and strategies that help us stay focused. One strategy that has been extremely successful is this idea of knowing the faces behind the numbers. A lot of times we look at data in terms of percentages and just numbers holistically rather than really diving in and breaking down, who is that? That is a person that we're talking about. And what we discovered is the more that we knew who the person was, the more we were able to see individual needs and stories emerge. And as we learn more about those individual needs and stories, we were able to provide even more explicit, intensive interventions. Something else that's really been helpful is utilizing just some tools that have helped us stay on track. One thing that Irwin and they continue to use is a student success scorecard where they look at indicators and determine roughly on about a 30-day cycle how are students doing in terms of those indicators. Those indicators are around student attendance, course completions of students, and even assignment completions and grade completions. Looking at all of those, we want students hitting 80% of those targets or better. When a student is not at 80%, that's somebody who we immediately identify as someone we need to focus on. But just having that tool has been very important and helpful to keep track of student progress. Another important tool is just a simple stoplight report, red, green, yellow. And the purpose of that report is to make sure that we're actually doing what we said we're doing. It's not accountability in a negative term per se, but more just, we all agreed upon this. Are we still on track? And if we're not, that's okay. But let's just pull back together and jump on board and get back on track. In terms of making data visible, Irwin looked at many pieces of data, but two where we saw a lot of success was looking at student growth. Almost every single student in the building demonstrated positive growth, which is a big success. And also the chronic absenteeism. Irwin Middle has gone from 25% chronically absent students to just under 6% this past school year, which is a really amazing success. Now they had the lowest chronic absenteeism rate of any school in Jefferson County last year. Another strategy that's been very helpful is at the bottom left, you'll see some data there. Just keeping that data visible and in front of stakeholders, in front of staff, in front of students, and making it in just formats that it's very simple and easy to read. It doesn't seem like much on one hand, but you would be surprised at how much conversation is generated around posting data. And before you know it, you see kids actually coming up to the data. You couple that with quality goal setting, then I think you'll see a big bang for your buck. I know that Irwin Middle has.
Well, hello, my name is Jen Francone. I'm the Director of Continuous Improvement in the Porterville Unified School District. I joined Porterville 3 years ago when we were just reopening schools after COVID, and that's actually where our improvement journey begins. Like Kathy shared earlier, there are many distractions that you see around that center of that poster and that happen in our districts every day. What was really critical to our success story was not chasing everything and really relentlessly focusing on people. And so we started with our employees to create that culture of support, which ultimately is going to lead to improvement for our students and families, those that we serve. So I'm going to share with you about our journey, which began with developing a strategic plan. And that strategic plan we view as our promise to our community. We took a full school year to gather input from all of our community, which includes our own employees, our students, our families, community partners that work with us, also people like first responders and our healthcare. We didn't want to leave anybody out because this is a community that we work and live in. That strategic plan allowed us to really understand from everybody what direction we need to go to be the excellent organization that provides the best service to meet the needs of the students that after that strategic plan was put in place, then came the hard work, which is making sure we implement that strategic plan, because we really wanted to make sure that we didn't just have a poster on a wall that had our vision and mission, but that we actually lived it out. And so we began working on scorecards. And our first scorecard was around employee experience, again, because we wanted to create that culture where everybody worked together so that we could fulfill this vision and this promise that we made to our community. As you can see on the poster on the right, some of the improvement and the growth that we've had in this work together. And I just want to highlight one, which is the survey participation. You can see that when we first started giving employee experience surveys, people did not engage as much. They were less likely to participate. I think there was a lack of trust in what these surveys were used for. But because we roll out our survey results to everybody and we ask for more feedback to explain the results, and start putting some actions in place that will improve the experience for our employees, they've begun to see that providing that input does have an impact and will make a difference for them. And so our participation rates have increased quite a bit. We also are using other strategies such as process maps in order to make sure that everybody is clear on what roles are being played and what the steps are and processes. In this case, what we're showing on this poster is about our onboarding process that our human resources department uses. So much of what we're doing in the Porterville Unified School District has been around employee experience. And because we've built that trust and we're building that culture, now we're beginning our scorecard process around some of those other focus areas that you can see on our strategic plan. I want to thank you very much for coming to our poster session.